and welcome to another video on the JayBee and Milly channel. Today we're going to be recording a top 10 in preparation of going to meet DeLisle at Wales Comic Con Telford Takeover. So this video is going to consist of our top 10 things we would recommend people taking to get DeLisle to sign. So as always, there's some kind of elaborate criteria JayBee is going to have. I guess for me, it's kind of about what would sign well that perhaps would, withstand the test of time. Obviously something that's going to be handled. If you used a paint pen, it can chip and that kind of thing. Although paint pen's certainly what we'd recommend for any autographs you get. All the autographs we've obtained is paint pens and stuff like that tend to work really well. So ultimately, like I say, it's about things that be a flat surface, that'd be easy to sign, stand the test of time, and also to some extent, although not in every instance, about kind of accessibility to the item. Because I guess if something's one of a kind, it's no good we recommend you getting it signed because quite frankly you couldn't get one.
Yeah, you're very upbeat with this. And I'm not going to sugarcoat things. I'm going to be a bit more down to earth in my introduction here. So in England, of course, it's Wales takeover, but it's like UK and Telford, I think, is in England, right? So, or is Telford in Wales? No, okay. I'm not. Okay.
We've gone over this three times in the last 3 minutes. Look, I swear.
Let's not joke. England there is a cost of money crisis, a cost of
living crisis.
There's cold people in England. So my main priority is not overwhelming people. It's going to be about what's cost effective, what's realistic, and what people can do on a budget. So I'm not going to be giving too many elaborate things. They are going to creep up on my list, but primarily it's going to be what's realistic. Because if you can get the autograph, it's going to be amazing on anything. It's great. I'm of the opinion that she could sign a dirty diaper and it's still going to be a prized possession. So just getting it out of the way, let's temper expectations because there's cost of crisis.
There is, and I'd certainly say that mine are all under £100 in value.
Mine aren't.
Okay. Well, anyway, with that, let's start. So for me, in 5th place, so this is going to be my top 5 and JayBee's top 5, ultimately equaling a top 10, unless we agree, which is very, very rare.
It is.
So, I'm going to start off by saying that it was recently released a special edition of 10 Scooby-Doo movies, the 10 disc bumper collection. This, as it's just been released, is relatively available in the UK. We called in our local HMV and managed to pick it up. So I'm presuming that'll be the case for a lot of other people. In the HMV, it's 30. So again, kind of within a budget range. And with it being that flat surface on every side, it'd be really easy to have signed and display really well. So for me, that's making my 5th spot.
Okay. I like that. And I think we were on the same line, kind of, because mine's a very recently released DVD as well, and it's the DVD for Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo.
Yes, that's a fantastic movie. If I was getting one signed, I'd probably be wanting it.
Because it's the newest release so far, so it's kind of like, I think this is one of the first times that Grey's been to the UK, at least in a while, and so to have, and this is sad to say in hindsight, but the only Scooby-Doo movie released this year to happen on that same time, it's almost like, when they release something for like a centenary or for an anniversary special, it's special because it has that year on it.
Yeah.
Well, with Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo having, copyright 2022 on it, along with Grey's signature, I don't know, I think that in combination is something that's relatively cost effective. And also you're going to look back at it as, oh yeah, that came out this year, and the year was topped off with her visiting. So really, it's an honorary first place in terms of cost effectiveness. But for, the sake of the sake, it's number 5 on my list, but I think it's a special one.
Okay, I think it's great. Well, moving on to number 4, for me, this is something I'd love to have signed. And in terms of accessibility to the item, I guess you need to look no further than our good friends Scooby for Life on Instagram. Of course, you need to get their permission and everything first, but they did some fantastic Daphne artwork. We have it hanging on our wall, and it encompasses every iteration of Daphne in one kind of picture, and I just think it'd be incredible to have Daphne sign this Shrine to Daphne. Honestly, it's some incredible artwork. If you haven't checked out their Instagram, there'll be a link in the description below. But ultimately, for me, that'd be a great item to have signed.
I love that. I can't agree with that enough. I did leave it out purely for the fact that it's something that I suppose only a limited amount of people would have. I mean, see, here's the thing. I definitely think she should sell it on like Etsy and stuff. I do think she should go into like the print selling market, but I don't know if that's dicey in terms of copyright or whatever. But 100% I'd buy loads. But yeah, my fourth one is the mystery machine that you can pick up at, is it Home Bargains, B&M Bargains?
Home Bargains do them. You can also pick them up really easily at places like The Entertainer.
No, it isn't
B&M.
Daphne related, but it's something that you can build upon. So if you find a nice box, you get greater sign the side of the mystery machine. It's then something that you can build up over time. So you've got the item, you only need to spend money on that one singular item. And then it's saving for autographs. So say Frank Welker comes back to Edinburgh, say Matthew Lillard comes back to Manchester. You can then get every cast member that's been in Scooby-Doo to be on the side of the mystery machine, which is like, you know, the iconic vehicle from Scooby. So I think it's something that you can get relatively cheap, but also something that you can build upon as time goes by. So that's why it's number 4.
Okay, and with that, we're heading into our top 3. So for me, in third place, this maybe should be higher, but kind of the typical item to go to is a signed Funko Pop.
Ooh.
Ultimately, it's a fantastic thing to have signed. A paint pen, especially in light blue, shows up really nicely on items such as this. It's really easy to pick up pop protectors as well, so you can have it preserved. The reason that this isn't higher on my list is 2 things. First of all, we do already have a Funko signed by DeLisle. And secondly, it's just quite a common thing as well if you want to have something unique for your collection. This certainly isn't going to be that unique, although of course every autograph is in and of itself different, and so to that end there is that element of uniqueness to it, but display wise, preservation wise, ease wise, it has to be in the top 3 for me.
Yeah, I think, see, Funko is, again, like, there's a load of things that is automatically an honorary number 1, because I think that is the most valid choice, maybe that's not the right word, but the most expected choice. So I do like that. And again, my third one is similar to yours in that there's so many reasons why it could be number 1, but there's one, well, okay, if I've got 2 things in as number 3, do I need to change? Because they're very similar, it's just a variant.
No, it's fine, just say 2 for 3.
So there's a company called Figures Toys Company that have released 2 Daphne figures so far. One as Daphne in a classic outfit and another one as a winter Daphne. It's one of the most amazing toys for Daphne I've ever seen. And I think they're not a bad price as well. So they're a good price, they're well designed, and there's 2 variants for it, which is so uncommon for a Daphne figure. The only damning part about it is that it is not sold in the UK at all. And I do believe that the only way to get it is from the Figures Toys Company website, and then you have to pay like £30 international shipping, which is, I think, kind of ridiculous. Not blaming Figures Toys Company, it's just some other corporations like that Handmade by Robots company, they kind of have a deal with double box toys, which if Figures Toys Companies managed to work that out, instantly maybe this is number 1. But those 2 variants are amazing. If you can get them, then that is amazing. It could be number 1, but it's just so hard to get in the UK, especially like, I think if you ordered it today, it wouldn't arrive in time. So
yeah, and I think accessibility does have to be a factor, which is why my second place, I believe, is even available on places like Amazon, and that is the Daphne cardboard cutout. We have one standing in the corner here, genuinely really easy to pick up. I got this as a gift for JayBee, and I don't think I've ever unveiled how much it costs. You can genuinely get them on Amazon for like £30. It's really quite easy to pick up.
£30?
Yeah.
That's expensive.
I know, think about how tall it is and stuff, like the size of that. I guess the most difficult part would just be carrying it around the Comic-Con with you all day.
And it does, when you're not used to it, it is scary. Like, it startled me many times going into the room for the first time.
But do you not think that a signature across, like, just look at it now, do you not think a signature across it would look amazing?
It would actually be awesome.
It would stand out really well. It would display really well just in the corner of the room. Yeah, that's my second place.
I like that. That's amazing. So am I on my second now?
You are.
Oh, this is difficult, but I can't not do this. It's definitely the Daphne Blake as Barbie doll figure. Not the Sarah Michelle Gellar variant, obviously, but there's a different one which is just Barbie as Daphne, and it's so difficult to get. I'm sure it's outrageously expensive, but I think if you do have it from childhood, it's probably the best thing for in terms of increasing value that you can have signed today.
With
but
a
that
COA.
Yeah, that is if you have it in your possession already. It is hands down the best return of investment you're going to get. And that's just money. I'm not talking about emotions, right? But I'm just saying, in terms of like staying cost effective with everything, if you do pay money to get that signed, it's £40 and you already have it. Easily you can sell that if you're in a tough situation financially for upwards of 90, I'm going to say 100. In this bad market, good market, I want to say a great deal more.
And JayBee knows because he'd be buying it from you.
Yes. So if you have Daphne Blake as Barbie, I honestly think there is no reason in the world to not have that be signed. But again, if you don't have it already, I'd say it wouldn't arrive in time because you're most likely going to find it in America
US.
or Canada or somewhere. Ooh, but goodness, yeah. That one day I'm going to sell a kidney for one of those, but we'll see.
Okay, so that just leaves us with our top spot. And I guess before we do, there's many things that could have made it into my top 5. I mean, ultimately, as JayBee said, the Barbie was certainly a consideration. In addition to that, what's the type of dolls they had at iCollectibles?
Those are the Living Dead dolls?
Yeah, the Living Dead dolls. There's a really nice box Daphne one that you could get. Further to that, oh gosh, there's just so much that you could have that's like kind of crossed my mind throughout. Ultimately, things that's in a box is always the best design, so I think kind of 2 honourable mentions would have been the Barbie and the Living Dead doll. However, top spot for me, and this actually unveils what it is that we're getting signed by DeLisle. I don't know how familiar you are, we'll get it up on the screen now, with the Ghost Patrol collection set. So for me, the reason that this is a great item to have signed, firstly, it's a box with the clear film so it would display well. In addition to that though, it incorporates all the gang. So say we were meeting Lillard again, once we've had Gray sign it, we could have him sign it where Shaggy is. Frank Welker, Scooby and Fred are together, so he could sign it across there. And of course a Velma as well. It'd be a great collection piece to just keep adding to. But in addition to that, the Ghost Patrol set was really special to me. It's something I had growing up. Ultimately, this isn't like my original childhood one. Unfortunately, I couldn't begin to tell you what happened to that. But JayBee was good enough, I believe last Christmas, to find another set of this for me, because obviously it meant a lot from childhood, and so it was so nice to see. It adds, because of that kind of remembrance of childhood, it was certainly a little bit more than just having the standard kind of set of the gang signed as well. Although for the concept of kind of collecting signatures across the board, it'd be good for that also.
I love that a lot. In fact, that was going to be my number 1, but I'm going to, in the name of, you know, variety and not being biased, because that is what we're going to get done, I am going to switch the scene up a bit. But my honourable mentions, they're kind of what you were saying. But in terms of, I kind of use this to be a bit wacky. So these are the ones that aren't really cost effective. They're kind of out there. But my first one of those kind of honourable mentions is the Monsters and Mysteries card binder. Because I think that would be pretty interesting. If you can get it protected, it's kind of a good classic signature to have on there. But then, like you say, I think the Ghost Patrol stuff, I'll have to move that back to an honourable mention. But then another one that I did think of is, they did, this is a bit difficult to get, but they did like a Where Are You Blu-ray that I think would do well with a signature on it. It's just because Grey wasn't in Where Are You, it kind of deducts it from being, you know, the number 5 spot or the number 4 spot. But I think because it's limited edition and it was released for the 50th anniversary when Grey was Daphne, you know, that it's in her era that it was released, I can kind of justify it being on the honourable mentions. But again, it's going to be insanely expensive. And I think it's a Blu-ray as well. It's like the one that came with the little Scooby Funko. But my number 1 is going to be, you're going to disagree with this, but I'm going to have to make it the Funko Pop because it's so... I think Funko can make this a lot more available. In fact, I think it's an absolute disgrace that we've had 5 Scoobies released in the last year.
I was going to say 5 Scoobies, but then you said in the last year.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't the last year, there's like 10.
And we've only had 1 Daphne. like years ago, and now it's like £70, £80 to get. But I think a Daphne pop in general, for any fan of Scooby, any fan of Daphne, any fan of Grey, is going to be worth it. And just that signature is incredible. And as bad as it is to say, as much as I can sit here and say, oh, the Barbie is going to be worth so much in the future, I think it's got to a point where a lot of your casual collectors might think, oh, Barbie, why is it in such bad condition? Barbies are still made today. This is trash. And so maybe people will be hesitant to buy from you if worse comes to worse. But everyone and their grandma knows what a Funko Pop is. There's that, you only need to go to a toy stop now, or even like, a supermarket, and you see Funko Pops. I think it's more prominent to keep it in good condition, and it's more not of a trustworthy brand, because Barbie is just iconic, but I think people will know it more in terms of, this is why this is in good condition. Whereas the Barbie now, I don't know when they were made, like early 2000s, if they're beat up, if they're in bad condition, a casual collector might not see the value in it. So maybe Funko's more reliable for you. And the Funko Daphne is just so cute. I want to cuddle it. It's just amazing. But that's going to be my number one. But, kind of warning, you need to use your paint pens. If you're going to get a signature, I would shy away from a Sharpie a lot for a lot of these things. Maybe they should have been at the start of the video.
I did put it at the start of the video.
No, but 100% don't do a Sharpie. Because you're pretty much throwing away £40. So don't do it, man.
They quite often have pens at the display with them if you don't have one to take. Ultimately, we get ours normally from Hobbycraft. It's called Posca, the range that we use.
They're my favourite.
All our autographs have turned out pretty well. You can get them on Amazon as well. I recently bought a big box of 15 different colours. We're going to test out the purple one on an old Funko box to see if it kind of works as purple for Daphne, blue for Fred, green for Shaggy, that kind of thing, based on the fact we want to go for that Ghost Patrol
light
thing.
Pink, I think, would look gorgeous. The only person that did us dirty was Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah, he used a darker blue because at the time it was a pandemic and they weren't accepting pens.
No, he's not it,
So yeah, we hope you've enjoyed this video. Let us know down below what it is. Either you've had Grey sign in the past or you are at upcoming Comic-Cons. And we look forward to catching up with you guys soon when we've uploaded the vlog of the event itself. So that's happening this Saturday. Like, as of this video going out, it's 2 days away.
Wait, when does this video go
Thursday, and we're going on Saturday. Are you excited?
You know what? I actually am really excited. I don't know why. I'm more excited for this than I was for Manchester.
Oh, honourable mention that I missed. This is a great thing to have signed. We did it with Lillard. Pay for the photo op and then have the picture signed.
That should have been my number one spot,
We did that with Lillard. We wanted to do this with Grey, but ultimately Christmas is coming up, cost of living crisis, everything else. So we decided on the one item that was kind of more independent. And in addition to that, Grey's photo op's at 2:30. So by the time you've got that printed, got the frame, and then gone back to have her sign it, it kind of didn't make as much sense.
And I was meant to lose a lot of weight for this event, which I haven't done. So, yeah.
Neither have I. I've just tried my dress on for the Christmas party.
Well, we'll look into that. I think you're amazing. But I had a goal of weight loss for this event specifically, and I failed.
It's okay. 2 days of star jumps.
In my pyjamas.
Let's go.
Yeah, we'll do it. So yeah, hopefully I can go from looking like a big geezer to Rashid Sunak in a time soon. But yeah, we are going to be covering this event a lot. So if you do want to see that, then please like, comment, and subscribe.
JayBee and Milly.